Our next speaker is Peter Nightingale from the Poor People's Campaign. Peter?
Yeah, is it on? Yes. You gotta push the button and hold it close. Hello everybody. Before I start, I would like to introduce some of us. Behind me are two of my co-chairs, well, co-tri-chairs. There are three chairs. Pamela on the left, your left, and Carl on your, no, that's my right, sorry. sorry. Pamela on your right, right?
Yes.
They're left. Well, okay. On their right.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, Pamela and Carl, in every way you like. And we have a coordinating committee, and there are several members of the coordinating committee present. Mary Pendergast is in the back, she's waving at you. And Pat Fons is a member of the coordinating committee too. And we are basically open to organizations and individuals. And we also have a table. This is it. We are supporters of the Paperwork Reduction Act. This is our table. Anyway, enough nonsense. Well, introducing people is of course important. Sorry about that. Anyway, the Poor People's Campaign has identified 5 interlocking injustices. The Poor People's Campaign is a national call for moral revival. Morality is also good economics, by the way, but it's a focus on moral revival. Number 1 of those 5 interlocking injustices is systemic racism. 2, poverty and inequality. 3, the war economy and militarism. 4, ecological devastation and denial of health care. These things have all been mentioned, but they should never be mentioned one at a time. They go together. The last one, number 5, is the false narrative of religious nationalism. Now the irony of this whole thing is, I want to go back to somebody who understood this, and guess what? It was a Republican called Eisenhower. And I know that most of you have heard this quote before, but I'm going to read it anyway, because Eisenhower, 70 years ago or so, covered the vast majority of these interlocking justices very explicitly. Here's what he said: every gun that is made, every warship launched, every rocket fired, signified is a final sense a theft, I repeat, not he, a theft from those who have hunger and are not fed, from those who are cold and are not clothed. I have to go back that far because 50 years ago, Martin Luther King said, a nation that every year spends more on militarism than on programs of social uplift is approaching spiritual death. This is spiritual death. We're not approaching it, we're there. This is it.
Tell it, Peter. Tell it.
Thank you. Now let me go back just 2 days. Jim Langevin and David Cicilline on Thursday voted for yet another National Defense Authorization abomination, NDAA. Remember, the last A is abomination. More than 50% of the discretionary budget goes to war, to the war economy, and to militarism. And that happens, of course, as we use that money, we kill people, but we kill many more by not doing what we're supposed to do. And let me give you some numbers. 250,000 people in the United States die every year because of poverty. They die prematurely. That's a policy choice. That's not a coincidence. 140 million people in the United States are poor or low income. Low income means they are one financial disaster of a couple of $100 away from financial ruin. And we spend more than 50% of the discretionary budget on the war economy. Well, now, Langevin and Cicilline both, because they talk to each other and figure out what the best talking point is, come up with something that in itself is a good thing, but it's only a detail. Let me tell you what it was. Part of the National Defense Authorization abomination is a 2.7% increase in the salaries that our war fighters, that they call them, make. Now let me tell you, if those people were unionized, as in the civilized world they are, they would go on strike, because that's not even close to the cost of living approach. But Langevin and Cicilline think that we know nothing. We do know this. So they focus on a minor positive aspect and do what is called a snow job, throwing out red herrings. So this is what I suggest. Let's on social media have a media storm, a media hurricane. Let's call them out. Let's call Langevin and Cicilline out. Call them out. Call them out. Call them out. I hear nothing but myself. Call them out. Call them out. Call them out. Thank you.